Good morning, this is Pavel from Rybsnar News. Today we are we have the pleasure to interview Aleksandrą from Illusion to Reality. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I am. The most of my life I have lived in Sweden, and I am a medical doctor, specialist in neurology and psychiatry. Especially within psychiatry, I've been working with personality disorders, which is quite important because if we are going to talk about Illuminati, so the topics or the things that we work with within psychiatry and personality disorders are actually those subjects that the Illuminati abuse, like psychopaths and the people that they abuse. It's the same, which makes it easier for me to see what they are doing, the Illuminati, how they are doing the mass mind control. But I was born in Czech Republic, Bohemia, in this town where we are sitting now. Its name is Kladno. It means really nothing. If you would translate it, it would be positivity. And so maybe again, our enemies made the planning in Bohemian Grove in northern California.
Yes.
And here
Yes.
we are sitting in Bohemia, the real Bohemia, in a town named Positivity. And I'm so very happy and grateful that you came here at Sonar News. I know that your trip took 15 hours from Warsaw, Poland, and you have to leave soon because you have the trip ahead of you back to Warsaw, Poland. But so I'm so happy you were here as guest also, and we were filmed several interviews, and also we were planning our cooperation between Sonar News and From Illusion to Reality.
Yes.
The conferences that I hope we will do together again, and the next would be, I hope, around 23rd of September 2018, and there is a huge catastrophe ahead of us, I believe, in my view, and it's a Nibiru flyby, and it's one of the main topics that I would like to talk about, and especially to Polish people and help them also as much as possible. But okay, I am dual citizen, Swedish, Czech, born in Czech Republic, Bohemia. Most of my life I've lived in Sweden, Gothenburg, which is close to the sea. It's like on the ocean, which is not good for the people in regard of Nibiru flyby. And I have studied medicine in Uppsala, Sweden, and as I told you, psychiatrist, and first neurology and then psychiatry was my subject. And you asked me, I have seen your questions a little bit, right. And you asked me how you and Adam, the filmmaker from Rybsnar News, and Pavel is the translator for Rybsnar News. You asked me how it happened that I started with this.
Yes.
And it was for me, it was very sudden from one day to the other, and these 2 days were 27th of February 2013 till 28th of February 2013. My life changed completely over one night, and I will talk about it. But a little bit before, I worked as a medical doctor, quite a high salary, and I was very satisfied. And I work in the department of psychiatry, specifically with personality disorders. 1.5 years I was on the same place in Sweden, Borough, Sweden. And in the beginning of 2012, I attended a court 4 days court as a private person. We were 7 medical doctors, 3 on the one side, on the evil side, how to say, and it was specifically these 3 doctors that I knew that have committed crime before that.
Okay.
So, and they committed crime in that court also. And we were 4 medical doctors on the other side. The trial could not be lost, but it was surprising for us that the judge
Yes.
abused the law in a way so the wrong side would win, in a way that was surprising for me. She didn't take the most important witness, and she manipulated so much that it was very obvious that she is lying, that she's part of a plot to the other side, the wrong side would win. And it was surprising for us all. So after that, I studied law books, the Swedish law book, especially criminal law, and within 2 months that summer I decided that I will not work anymore, because this is criminal. I'm paying taxes, 500,000. My salary was 1 million Swedish crown a year around all this, and I pay at least 500,000 in taxes. And now I knew that I am paying for criminality, organized criminality, but at the same time I have to pay taxes. It's illegal.
Of course.
So the only way how I would do it, to follow the real law, not to pay for this mafia, criminal mafia within justice in Sweden. So I quit the job, I have the savings, and I have always written books, like stories, but not publish it. But it's since I was little, it's some need. I have a couple of writers on my mother's side, and on my father's side is a well-known painter, a very well-known painter. So I have like these things. So I was thinking, okay, I will write a detective story, first detective story. The name would be In the Grip of Psychopaths, to explain the criminality and explain about sadistic psychopaths, and because the judge and the lawyer on the opposite side was a sadistic psychopath, and so that I would explain the psychology within the law, within this book, which was a detective story, and it was started in Sweden and finished in Amsterdam on the street of Prinsengracht, and house, black house with white cat. Now I know what white and black means, Freemasons. But I had this story. I would just put it on a paper and write. And I was here in Czech Republic in this apartment, but I was actually living on a paper. I was living in Sweden. Still, I have lived in Sweden almost the most of my life, as I say. And I would just put on paper. I was finished with the paper and write the book. And it was February 2013. And what happened that my old neighbor, she asked me, we were chatting, and she told me on the news, Czech television, they told about a spy, British spy, who was found in a suitcase dead in his apartment. And I asked her, why did they talk about this? It's 2 years ago that happened.
Yes.
Obvious murder by the Secret Service. William Gareth Williams is the name of the man. And this, I went to the computer, it was 27th of February 2013, and I went to the computer, check like what happened, and I see something, I found an article about this, and to this article was linked another. I hadn't even read this article, but I have sent something about this subject.
Yes.
And Julian Assange, it was like involved and so, about this, to the Czech television. And suddenly my computer get attacked, it switched off, my emails was targeted, I couldn't send it. I thought, what is this? Then I read the link, what was this about? And within the link, it was a US-American spy. Of all places, he lived in Stockholm, Sweden, and he has written about the Secret Service in Britain, that the MI5 chief is a specialist like in terrorism.
Yes.
And many terrorist acts like in Northern Ireland, that they done provocation then like this, and the other one, the chief of the MI6, the foreign, was a specialist in overthrowing of a foreign government. So I understood that later when I read this, that it was about this link, and that I have no idea by that time about New World Order, about Illuminati. I knew nothing about what kind of critical time in February 2013 it was for them. I have no clue about anything like that. I just knew the day after they were attacking my computer, as I told you, and then the day after, evening, the 28th of February 2013, people are calling me from Sweden. English-speaking men are trying to ask people who know you where you are or how about me, and I understood it's the British spies. They want to kill me. It was so obvious for me. I don't want to go into. It was very obvious for me that the British want to kill me just to get rid of this information that was for anybody on the internet. And I was thinking, what is this like? Then it was like Thursday, the 28th of February 2013. I was trying to send this information. My computer was attacked. They went into my email, which is Gmail address. And specifically Gmail is probably done so that they can target the emails that you cannot send them. That you believe that you have sent them, but it wasn't sent. So then on Monday, from Monday after, they have done 4 days DDoS attacks. First day on the media, Czech television, so they couldn't broadcast anything about that. Second day on the like MSN.com, so the Czech, it says now.com. The third day it was a banking system here. And the third day afternoon I was at my cousin's place. I don't watch TV, I have no clue about this. And my cousins tell me, don't you know that the hackers are here and doing DDoS attacks? And I ask her which companies or what. And I understand, okay, they were targeted Czech television so that they couldn't send like this important message also. And the fourth day, they were targeted mobile phone net. It was T-Mobile, here you have T-Mobile and O2, but they didn't target Vodafone. So I thought, okay, the spies go with Vodafone, they wouldn't target their own company. I don't know why I should know it, but I know it now.
Yes.
So, and I have informed Czech television police about these DDoS attacks are done by British or Secret Service in Britain because they targeted this. and this DDoS attack went from Britain or somewhere there to Russia, and from Russia here. So it looks like it's Russian who are doing it, but I knew that it was this one. And what happened, this police here and Secret Service here, oh, the hackers will get 8 years in prison, and I believe in Britain it's like 10 years. And suddenly, when I written to them,
Yes.
this is the British that are doing it, because this information, suddenly they drop the, like, no hacker get anything, they stop to talk about it, total cover-up. So for me, in beginning of March of 2013, suddenly my life switched and I understood, okay, the Secret Service are killers, provoking conflicts, overthrowing governments, working with terrorism. Number two, the Czech are involved and they are one part of it. And I started to study. Then shortly after that, a week or so, there were DDoS attack on South Korea and North Korea, and the military was there for exercise. I understood, and it looked like China was where the DDoS attacks come from. But I understood it's another country, it's the same bad guys, and they are trying to provoke conflict in South Korea, North Korea, to attack North Korea. So, and I have written about it, and they have been targeted my computer heavily. So now I knew in like second half of March 2013, all this that killers, Secret Service are doing this criminality. I knew also that they are in plot, and the Czech are in plot with it. Suddenly even the Swedish started to attack me. So I knew suddenly from end of February, no clue about it, suddenly I knew quite a lot about it, and what shall I do now? So I studied really heavily. I have all this time to write for the writing of the book. So instead I switch and use, okay, I drop the book, I cannot write detective story anyway, because it didn't feel well to kill people even in the book. I'm not the way if somebody hurt me, I cannot give back.
Yes.
It's not my mentality. It was why it was difficult to write a detective story. So instead I was starting to dig in, like on YouTube. So when I was searching something, suddenly I found chemtrails. So I studied chemtrails. Then I saw references to harp crimes, these earthquakes, and so that were actually unnatural. It was natural disasters, but it was man-made.
Yes.
And it was new for me. I found in 2013 one woman. She is one of the 2017 nominees for the 2017 Proud Peace Prize. Michelle Hopkins. Now she's married, but Michelle Hopkins, in her YouTube channel is Red Michelle Hopkins, and she has the gift to explain very easily what's going on.
Yes. So
I learned about harp crimes on her channel. 2013, if you watch her videos, it was crucial. And the second thing was about plot in United States to take over the government. She gave this information, and every time I saw some new subject, so on YouTube I have written for myself all the videos.
Yes.
And then I went back. So I was sitting like with and educated myself, like all the time I wasn't asleep. And I learned in around 1st of June 2013, suddenly it clicked. They are using a language. So if you see, if you read msn.com, so
Yes.
you have the English text,
Right.
but parallel, there is going on another language. I call it Illuminati coded communication. It's an also language which is the most important for the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
And I have heard a little bit about it back in Sweden when I worked with a psychiatrist, that a Swedish journalist was talking about that they are threatening her in an advertisement. And I was thinking, is she paranoid or something? But I just put it in my head. I knew that she worked with really deep stuff like Ole Dammegård that we interviewed yesterday,
Yes.
Volkswagen and so on. It was about that the former Minister of Justice, Thomas Bodström, was involved in very hardcore criminality, organized criminality, and it was about weapons, selling of weapons that killed maybe more than 40 people in Sweden.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it was really heavy stuff, so therefore I, as a psychiatrist, I didn't want to dismiss it. Okay, is she paranoid or not? And she didn't behave paranoid or what she written at all. So I put it like in my back of my head. This one, and then when exactly same things happened to me, the threatenings and exactly what happened to her happened to me 2013 after this. And a car that is standing outside my window, everything, the threats and so. I understood this is international language. And then later I have found out that probably those who have developed it are in California Institute of Arts, and that how they learned it is, I don't know if you know, or Adam, Pastor Lindsay Williams.
I've heard about them a
He
little
was
bit.
invited to Bahamas every, I believe, second week to join meetings where these people were like educated and learn how they will fool us, media, and it's a plot, media, police, and they have somebody up like in the hierarchy, so the whole organization is like against anti-human,
Right.
because the people down there have no clue, they just follow the order, but up there they know what they are doing. So, for example, the last attempt to assassinate me was now 19th of September now. It was police, Czech police, state police here in Kladno. And how they have sent a woman, and the woman, I have the paper, she doesn't even, the policeman
Yes.
who was sent here, who under some I have the paper, anyway on the paper you don't have any stamp,
Okay.
you don't have any reason on the paper that they have sent me, and I've got it half a day later when she already was here, that I would explain something, but they didn't write what I should explain, no stamp, no nothing. I see her name. Her name starts with R, which is 18th letter. The initials is RR, 1818, which is 666. It's warning. In the beginning of the day, I get a threat that you will be murdered by hanging, and it would look like suicide. But it wasn't like how they will do it. I didn't know how they will do it.
Yes.
And I'm Aleksandrą from illusiontoreality.com, and I am speaking here with Ripsonar News. This interview was unfortunately interrupted because of my cough, so, and it's quite disturbing. so that we have decided to do the second part of this interview via Zoom with Pavel from Rybsonarius next week in English, and then it will be translated into Polish also with text. And we have also decided to do so that I will do like alone Zoom talk, exactly as Ole Dambergård said yesterday in his interview that he will do for us, for you, Rybsonarius, and From Illusion to Reality, a presentation like a lecture that we could have on our YouTube channels. So I can read now what we have decided up to now to do. So it's the Zoom interview with Pavel next week, that we will continue with Pavel's and Rybsonarius questions, and it's like what made me to start From Illusion to Reality, and the conferences and the Prague Peace Prize. And we will talk, or I will do separate video about the nominees of the Prague Peace Prize 2016 and 17, and also the in memoriam nominees. So one was disqualified, it was Kevin Annette, because of fraud. itccs.org is actually a fraud. And also, yeah. So it will be one specific video, then I will do a specific video, one video about Nibiru flyby and preparedness for the Nibiru flyby, and it's very important for me. And then another video about CERN, and what you maybe don't know, that CERN, Hoover Dam, it's Stargate, it's already been in function to open it. The Illuminati are able to open it. They've been able to open it since late 2014, as much as I know. And actually, if I may say, how the Illuminati communicate, it's like millions of people see it, but you don't know that the Illuminati are telling you something really. And in a well-known song of Taylor Swift, Bad Blood, it's about CERN Hoover Dam, because the head of Illuminati is threatening in this video to the other main faction of the Illuminati, Evelyn Rothschild in the UK, is threatening him because they didn't open the Stargate. And why they didn't open it? Because we were blocking it. We knew about it, I knew about it, that they want to do it, so we're blocking it. And then, so the video, Bad Blood, is actually a threat between the main leaders within Illuminati, and why he's threatening him, William Van Down, Evelyn Rothschild and the British part, because they didn't open the CERN Hoover Dam Stargate, which would be the end, beginning of the end for us, for humanity. It's totally genocidal, anti-human agenda, CERN Hoover Dam, and we have to block it as much as possible. So if you watch the video, you see portals a lot. It's the representation of CERN Hoover Dam in Poland, Czech Republic, and former Czechoslovakia, and Sweden, especially Sweden, is one of the member state of CERN, and it's totally anti-human. If they open the Stargate, we have to block it. If they open it, I don't know if I even can tell you in the beginning now here what would happen, but it would be the worst. So I will talk about CERN and Hoover Dam Stargate and CERN in a separate segment. And when you hear Pizzagate, so it's connected to the opening of the San Hoover Dam Stargate. For the Illuminati, they know it. Usual people who know about Pizzagate believe that it's about this pedophilia. But actually for the Illuminati, what they mean with Pizzagate is opening of the San Hoover Dam Stargate. They would like throw a bomb with conserved energy from CERN, produced in CERN, over to Hoover Dam in the United States. The surface or the dam, the waters of the dam would be at the same time electrically charged with energy, and this electromagnetic reaction would open a shortcut or stargate or shortcut to the planet Saturn, and there are beings that would attack us. And you maybe know that NATO, all the military bases of NATO has been in secret meetings in underground bases, NATO, UN, Vatican. These main bad guys were in deep underground military bases together with beings, non-human beings. And Phil Schneider, for example, the geologist, told us about it, and then he got assassinated. But he attended these meetings a couple of times. After that, he stopped working for them, for NATO. But he said that I believe Bialek, Bialek, that like the meeting, they were waiting for the biggest, like almost celebrity who would come, and it was some 7 seats or something like that on the podium, and who comes? 7-foot Grace. And like this betrayal, and then NATO is sitting there. So you can imagine, they open the Stargate in United States, Hoover Dam. Mm-hmm. There comes all these beings, Nephilim, robotic soldiers, reptilians, like some of them eat humans, use humans as a food source, with like weaponry that nobody of us have seen before, like highly advanced, and they are employed with the military, who should be working for our security, safety. They are employed with them, so they will not defend them. And then Poland is part of NATO with military bases, Czech Republic also, Sweden not, but in fact, like Sweden was not neutral in the Second World War, nor Switzerland. The oligarchs of Sweden and Switzerland, in fact, were of those who were planning the Second World War. So I mean, what would happen with all these billions of soldiers, like 2.5 meters tall, with like plasma guns and reptilians, military gears all over the place on the military bases, and the soldiers, lower soldiers, have no clue. They maybe some would, but the leaderships are in plot against us, and what they would gain, some of it. Do you know William Tompkins, a very important whistleblower who died this year on the same day of the eclipse? So I believe he was assassinated. He told us, for example, that the military and they know that they could get pills to live longer. They would get advanced technology for themselves, but our children and we would be eaten, or such a terror they have agreed on against us. It's so anti-human that it's difficult to talk about like in the beginning now, because people who don't even know that Nibiru is like a few weeks ahead of us, the Nibiru flyby with all what it means, that they could comprehend that maybe they should have food, be on safer location, water, maybe it's problem with vision, that 3 days of darkness, maybe it's about that we should cover and not look outside, because we maybe would lose our vision. I believe it's our ancestors wanted to warn us, and you can see the information in the Bible actually, how we should behave in the Nibiru flyby. So it's something that people could comprehend, like everybody, this is this danger. But how can you tell them that we have been fooled so totally that here on Earth are living non-human beings in underground who are, many of them, our enemies, and they consider themselves the owner of the land, and they all of the planet, and they also eat humans. How can you even say that to a person who has been gone through these schools, that the Habsburgs by that time, like 1700 something, that it's so good to have schools for everybody got for free schools. Yeah, the meaning of it was to totally brainwash us in totally wrong direction, so that even people with IQ 200 wouldn't figure out how to save his or her life now, because he has no clue about Nibiru, no clue about extraterrestrials, no clue that how we are designed as human beings, that it's maybe not that when our lives ends, that it's the end. No clue that, the religious talk is, do you believe or are you atheist? When the verse is between, are you working for humanity like that God that want survival of 7 billion people, or are you working for the God that would like to destroy us, the Illuminati God, Luciferian's religion?
Yes.
And actually in Hebrew, sacrifice, the name of the sacrifice and human sacrifice as well, is Nazi, right? And the sacrifice by fire is Holocaust. This video, I don't know if you can see it, it's explained about concentration camps where they were situated, and you see the satanic pentagram. You know, this is nothing new, like Nazism 70 years ago.
Yes.
This is at least 3,000, many thousand years back, this fight between the good side and then this God who wants to destroy us. And therefore I would suggest that instead we call them Satanists primarily, or Luciferian, that we say Nazi faith. They do Nazi rites, whether it's one child they sacrifice or they provoke Second World War. It's like Nazi right to kill people. So I would say that it's like the fight between these people who work for this God, for us humanity to survive, and this, and just cheating. So for me, if somebody asks, "Are you Christian?" Well, I was hardcore atheist not so many years ago, but then I found out that it's nonsense. But okay, it's my thing. But the Christian, for me, it's like the problem 2,000 years ago is the same now, and it's between that you want to survival and or not, you want to kill and destroy and this type. And all these new religions like Shia Muslims against Shia and Sunni, it's just the bedside, the core of it, the bedside that have split us, made all the time the divisions, so that we would be like concentrating or fighting or Protestant or Catholic.
Yes.
By the way, Martin Luther were paid by the bankers, I've heard, and it makes sense, just to make the division, the Hegelian dialectic, and so we would be concentrating on the rituals that you do as a so-called Christian rituals in the church. But the core, what is it about what you should be working on? They just divided us, and so we wouldn't see that the core is the fight between the good side that work for humanity and hard help you if you are in need, and the other side, I call them Luciferian Satanist Nazi faith that want to destroy, kill, lie, accumulate money, steal money from us. So it's the main fight, not the fight between atheists and believers. It's between these believers and these believers who is the main fight, religion. So I cannot say that I'm Christian, I believe, yeah, but I'm working for this side, totally, I'm working against this side, and they can kill me, I will not accept any, how we call it, mark of the beast, or forget it, I rather be killed, no way. And I know that since 2013, I have been working against this side, and people know about the conferences, and maybe if they even know about me anything. So it's the conferences from illusion to reality. The first one was in, is it visible?
Yes, yes, of course.
July 2016, and it was
Yes, it's okay.
yeah, and then it was Fritz Springmeier in October 2016, and then we had this one in July 2017 with these people, and then maybe they know something about the Prague Peace Prize, and now here is diploma with Robert Dean. It's one of the nominees. One of them got disqualified, Kevin Annette, as I told you. And I must say that Robert Dean, he couldn't come, he's like 88 years old. And Jim Mars couldn't come either. But how humble they were when they've got the it's just this little crystal powder tower of Prague. It's a tower in Prague, and they have so it's like humble price. It's not 1 million of Swedish money for Nobel Peace Prize, but I have lived in Sweden, and I know that Nobel Peace Prize is a big fraud. And you hear in Swedish, you don't pronounce Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel, you say Nobel, and the second, and Bell is Satan. It's like Belgium. The head of the Illuminati is from Antwerpen region, I believe, is from Belgium. Bell. So the country was probably built from part of the Netherlands, and that they would have the name Bell. And William Van Down, the head of Illuminati, and in the biblical term, we call him the Antichrist. It's him. He would, yesterday, 23rd of September 2017, he would enter the temple, third temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, and pronounce himself, it would be the second coming of Jesus of Christ. But we have been working so hard against this, many of us. So look where we are, 24th of September 2017, and the third temple wasn't even built. So, but the forces are in power. I can see yesterday I saw a planning of false flags, big false flags. China, it's probably nuclear attack on China. They are communicating it. Today I see attack against involvement of Iran. They are planning the Illuminati. I see it in MSN.com. They would target yesterday. I saw also the planning of the Illuminati is probably assassinate or target Elizabeth Windsor, or she's part of it. But like either way that she would, that William Windsor would be there. He was for William, how they were planning, 2013 when I started with this, they were planning when the child of William Windsor and Kate Middleton, I don't believe she has actually produced the child like normal way. I believe it was a fake pregnancy, and the child, it was a surrogate, because I was watching how she looked like, and the second child too. I believe she never delivered the children. But the planning was when the child was born, in 9 months, they would be many times nukes on the northern hemisphere of the Earth. 9 months. Then William Windsor in April 2000, the spring 2014, he would enter as the leader at least of 10 countries. It was Vatican, and later on 22nd of like it would be Nazi system, Nazi New Order system, terrible, what we know from Germany, something like that. And then on 22nd of September of 2017, it would be like half tribulation, half of the 7 years of tribulation. Then William Van Down, the head of Illuminati, the real chief, would declare William Windsor be the Antichrist and responsible for all these killings, and he and his wife would be killed by fire. You can hear in Bible how the Antichrist would die. They would mimic it. The devil knows the Bible better than the Christian people themselves. It's known. So they would mimic what's in Bible. In Bible, they would do it. But we have been so good to stopping it, preventing it. And also that on the southern hemisphere they wanted to kill the people in Africa, and it was more biological weapon. For example, you've heard about the Ebola and Ebola vaccination, and I believe that several of us found out that probably they, as a vaccination, they want to use human rabies, so that we would be like eating each other like zombies. So all this about, so directly when we found out about it, so for example YouTube channel Red Pill Revolution, they changed main truth pill revolution, he wrote about it. I took his video and the link and sent it to China, to everywhere, like, so that we would neutralize what they were planning. When we saw it, what they are planning, neutralize it. or blue beam project, that they would have like holographic like person of either in the Christian countries Jesus, and Muslim countries their Messiah, all over the world, and we learned about it. So we neutralized that and talked about it. They never did it in the end. So like every day, each day since I've been involved, every day was like working hard, working hard to stop all you see that the Illuminati are planning. Just try to stop this, inform that, like do everything from A to Z. From Alpha to Omega, you have like journalism, information and this, and you have to do everything to stop it, because I knew from the head of the Illuminati, William Van Dam, I knew that they want to kill 7 billion people. Really, the head of the Illuminati knows the real number that they want to save. Somebody like who believes is the head of a state believes that he or she will be saved, and it's not the case. So they are maybe doing all these genocidal things against their people, and no clue that they will be exterminated too. So it would be a cascade of extermination, since, well, the first big false flag was on Olympics 2012, and Michael Shrimpton and Ben Fellows. They too were very important to stop the nuclear attack in Great Britain on London on Olympics 2012. Ben Fellows worked for G4S as a journalist, or as a like security guy, and found out that they have ordered, I believe, 200,000 of FEMA coffins to the London Olympics, G4S, which is a really criminal organization, and that in one coffin you have space like for dead bodies. So we are talking about 1 million dead people, and then most of them are maybe from London region or so they could. So who did they wanted to put in the boxes? Like me, I was there. I would be killed. I was in Central Europe, Central London, and I was leaving. It was something about Julian Assange, and then I didn't know by the time who Julian Assange worked for, really. By the time I was like naive. And so then since 2013 I was working with stopping, actually it sounds crazy, but I was picked by the head of Illuminati in 2013. He informed me extra when he's planning an attack. All people could see it in msn.com. All people could see yesterday and today that they are planning nuclear attack on China. All people could see that they are planning something with Iran, something evil. You can see it today if you know the communication. But I know since 2013 that he informed me extra, and we could talk about it later when we decided to have a more Zoom
interviews, right?
Yeah, so we are planning now with Pavel, translator who speaks English from Rypsonar News, that when you leave for Poland, then next week we will do continuation or next segment of this.
Yes.
And you can give me questions, and so we are planning to do it until you continue this interview. I will give more information, and later it will be translated to Polish, and then maybe Czech and other, hopefully Russian if possible. And then we have decided already now that I will do myself the Nibiru flyby preparedness, San Hoover Dam, HARP, chemtrails. We have an attack here in Prague, in Czech Republic, in July 2013. I will speak about this specific. 15 people were clearly, obviously, HARP attack. I wrote all documentation, pictures, went to the police, crime police. They laugh at me. But when I entered the crime police section, the lady, young lady in the receptionist, she looked at it and said, "Oh, I know about it, this is HARP, it's north, up north." Yeah, we were talking about that. I'm from Sweden, so I know that Jacob Wallenberg, billionaire, is involved, highly involved in this criminality. So she knew about it, and then come the inspectors who have and smile like stupid. Either they know, probably they know nothing, no clue. Shall we pay them? 15, 16 people got killed, destruction in like billions of Czech crowns. You work for free to give them all the documentation, and they don't do it. So shall we pay the police academy? Shall we pay their? No, my opinion, no. Of course not. Then another segment would be about ETs and about non-human beings with highly advanced technology who live actually here on Earth, and they consider us parasites, as I've heard. Maybe you have heard about Thomas Castello. Yeah, he worked as a security guard in Dulce base, and what Dulce base is about.
Yes.
So what is doing President of United States, running and accusing other people, like in other countries, leaders, you are doing this and that against your people, when like hundreds of thousands of people are obviously have been kidnapped on the streets, maybe in United States, put in Dulce base or these military bases, and they are experimenting on them and even being like eaten. What are we doing here? So ETs, non-human terrestrials, another New World Order, Illuminati, Vatican, and the whole conspiracy, their conspiracy. Then I was preparing a book, 10 questions. Is it okay?
Okay, yes.
10 questions about Nibiru flyby, and the questions are on my homepage, From Illusion to Reality, and the questions are so done that it would tell you something, and that even the questions are informative. And I have asked several people who know something about Nibiru flyby. The first one who answered the 10 questions was John Moore, and John Moore was the speaker at the July 2017 conference in Prague. And what we have decided now with Red Sonar News is that I will do one answer. Sorry, this one was a little bit destroyed, so it's not so beautiful looking paper, but that I will do 10 separate videos, one video for one question. And the last question, for example, is if you were appointed as a one-world leader for 1 year from June 2017, what would you do so that all people who are expected to live in May 2018 would have a good chance to survive the Nibiru flyby? Do you believe that immediate full disclosure of information about Nibiru Planet X system flyby would be life-saving on a big scale? So I will try to do the video within 2 weeks, hopefully next week, but within 2 weeks, at least in English, and to tell what I would do to save all people. I'm a medical doctor, I have my oaths and I have my personal oaths. So, okay, when the people are dead, I have to accept that they are dead, but not 1 second before that. I do absolutely maximum for all, each single one, to be saved. So, and how can I do it? Go back to Sweden and work as a medical doctor for 1 million a year, or work with this. So it's the main reason for this, from illusion to reality, and also in order to get a little bit attention on problem or subject. It was the Prague Peace Prize, and why I put not 1 but 10 people every time. It was because, well, 10 people maybe are not crazy, all of them. If you pick 1, because this one is crazy, but now I picked 10, and all who are qualified, not Kevin on it, but all who are qualified would get the prize. And the prize is humble, and it's like a little bit crystal. It's not money, but money is the root of evil, and so on. As one says, so it was like to get a little bit attention that there is not this mainstream BS nonsense, fake news, but here is something totally different, and these people are scientists, renowned, like Robert Dean. He's Sergeant Major, and he says in the video with Kerry Cassidy Project Camelot in the year 2008 about Nibiru flyby, and it will be at the latest 2017. He said that he's Sergeant Major, it's very high position, and he told us, and of course he has been threatened and he has personally lost, it said so, but anyway, for what he has done for humanity, Robert Dean, it's really, I highly recommend any lecture, any presentation of Robert Dean or Jim Mars, like George Green, elite whistleblower. It's really, they have done so much for humanity that we woke up. So and another one, another video would be about the banking system, and you have seen the video with the Dutch banker Ronald Bernard.
Yes, of course.
Highly recommend to everybody. It should be translated to all languages and be on the main news to know how it worked. And next videos, and it's in connection, it would be about, I would like to start People's Court of Justice, International People's Court of Justice, and quickly. And I believe 1 million euro to each single person who want to come to our side as the compensation for the attempted murder, Nibiru flyby, corrupt, CERN, genocidal terrorist device of the Illuminati, second, another genocide, hard crimes. Like all these are so many that you see that it was planned genocide of billions of people. So then I would also speak about all the nominees of the Prague Peace Prize, and also the memoriam nominees like Thomas Costello and Phil Schneider. So and maybe if we find out something else some other topics to speak about. So we will do it. It will be difficult to show in Zoom, so I will show, like, it's your picture actually, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken from the video that you have done with Fritz Springmeier.
Yes.
And we are not finished with it because you will have it on your on your YouTube channel and my YouTube channel. The video when he took his speech, Fritz Springmeier's speech, when he took the Prague Peace Prize. So, and here is Ole Dammegård when he took it, and where is David Icke? Can you see?
Yes, of course.
And he has also a speech which is on my YouTube channel, maybe on your also, when he took the prize. And also I would like to recommend Carrie Cassidy. When she was in Prague in July 2016, she did 2 very good interviews, one with George Green and one with Ole Dammegård. I recommend highly these 2 Carrie's interviews. I believe maybe some 80,000 people have seen George Green's interview, more than that, this one.
Yes.
And Carrie's speech, at least 80,000 people have seen it, so I guess it has been appreciated. Harald Kautz, his lecture was also appreciated, and George Green's lecture, and this year John Moore's lecture was appreciated, and like everybody's Fritz Springmeier. Fritz Springmeier is he sat in prison in 8 years, falsely accused, just that the Illuminati would get rid of him somehow. And I believe Fritz Springmeier has written that he has been communicated with William Van Down, the head of Illuminati, like, I believe, by letter. I don't believe Fritz knows Illuminati communication. It's very easy to communicate with William Van Down, as I have been doing since 2013, late 2013, in Illuminati coded language, because he can give me a message. 10 million people can see it, but have no clue that it's a message from him to me. And I know how I will give him message. I'm under total surveillance. I mean, through Windows they have Google Air, and then I know that they use thermal camera, so they know which room I sleep in, and they are not shy to harass me with this. They tell it openly, and like I've been harassed by Czech military. They were like flying against our car in case to see if I sit there, so that we could be killed in an accident almost, because it was like during the war, like they wanted to do false flag here. It was in March, I believe 2015, when military forces were driving through Czech Republic. They wanted to do false flag. I could see it because I know the Illuminati language. So I would stop it, and they knew it. So they were like after me and so. And then they tried to assassinate me hard, and it was like I was called to police. And before, no, it was like the month after, on 18th of April at 18th of April, and 18 is 666, Satan, and 4 is April, 4th month is the code for death. But I got in the morning threats from United States in coded language. Police will come at 18 at 6 o'clock p.m. I see it in the morning, and it will not be good for you, they will do something with you. I didn't know what. Okay, another person would be scared. No, it was maybe the last time I could go to my summer house, because I knew that, okay, if they are preparing for this ritual, that they want to kill me at 18 or do something with me at 18 o'clock, that they will not do it before. So I was free and went to my garden, and it was such a joy for me. I could be here because they want to do something at 18 o'clock, 6 p.m. So then and it was specific, very specific, that it was police, and because the code for it is cobra, the picture of cobra, and they also explain more that I understood. Okay, then I came home. It was 4 p.m., 4:30. I opened I looked in the computer if I will go get more specific threat what they are going to do, and it was there. The first one was, again, they will come at 18, 6 p.m. It will be police somehow. They will approach me or something, and the way how they will kill me, or that I knew that it was about assassination, they would kill me, they was pointed at me like in the information, you will be killed the same way as Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was killed by lethal injection. So I knew, okay, at 18, it was 4:30, I shut down the computer, I went hiding. My neighbor told me at 18 was police here, a blonde woman searching me here, that they would need some explanation because I have written something. And who would do the job for them? It was police here, state police in my hometown Kladno. And 2013, after the Secret Service of Britain had threatened me, I went there to the very specific station and asked them, please, how could I buy for my money, for my savings, a security guard? Because I'm threatened from Secret Service. If you are a psychiatrist, know as myself, and you know about personality disorders, it takes you to sentences, and if you see somebody, to evaluate what kind of personality he has. It's not how the diagnosis goes, it takes 2 hours at least or so, and the psychologist does that. But we psychiatrists have to work quickly, and you have if you have worked with it years, you have in back of your head, you automatically evaluate people, and you are not allowed ethically to say to your neighbor or to your relatives or some people who are not your patients, you have narcissistic personality disorder, this and that. You are not allowed, but you see it. It's if you want to help somebody, that you should use it, or you are in a forensic psychiatry and you have to evaluate if the person should go to the prison or to the ward, psychiatry, forensic psychiatry ward. Well, and I see the head of the MI5, his name now is Jonathan Evans, and as a psychiatrist I see, okay, psychopath, okay, this man is really, and he is against me because he doesn't want this information. It's not a good place for me, when you know who you have his personality, for sure, and he's the head of MI5. He was the head of MI5. until the Sunday before Boston. And I'm very sure that he was in charge there. And then he did some like Volkswagen Operation West, explosion in west of Texas, close to Waco. It was almost like 20 years after Waco, a celebration. They often do another false flag when you have a false flag before. And it's in your country, Poland, in 2010, for April 2010, they assassinated all your government practically, and huge false flag, and it was 70 years after the Katynia. Both of them, the guilty one, are Illuminati, both of them. And because 2010, William Van Down was already the head of Illuminati. He was since 2009, so he is the most wanted in Poland. Should be, because he is the most responsible for the murder of your government, the false flag in your country. And I believe many people know it in Poland, isn't it so? About it. So he's the most wanted worldwide, but in your country he would be. And instead, he is in charge of your military as well as our military. He's in charge of your secret service as well as ours and Swedish. He's the boss of it all. And like media, of course, he's the boss of satanic Hollywood. He's the boss of the satanic music industry. And the church, so-called, the satanic Nazi church. So this conspiracy is long-term. William Van Down, his mother would be Oppenheimer. Fritz Springmeier has written about it. And his father, Van Down, it should be Secret Service guy. It was Fritz Springmeier speaks about it, about a Secret Service guy, Van Down, in 60s. And so you see the connection, like Vietnam War and assassination of Swedish general, how we call it, the second, have you heard name? Not Hjalmar, his father was Hjalmar, but Hammarskjöld. See, Hammarskjöld, he was like the chief of UN, the second one. He was murdered in Congo there in 61, 63, 61. And this Van Down was like Belgium, is the very, very headquarter, like of this evil, and the hidden. This Hammarskjöld, Dag Hammarskjöld, he was assassinated by the ones who has been, they have told us who did the crime, the taken down of his flight in Africa, was Belgium legal soldiers, legal like paid soldiers, but like the hand behind was Illuminati, of course, because they didn't want to have a good person, so they assassinated him. So this conspiracy, Illuminati, is like it has been, they have been working throughout years for the big day yesterday, 23rd of September 2017, when William would enter the temple, third temple of Solomon in Jerusalem. It was really a big day for them, and it wasn't successful for their part. But what I want to say that William was born on 20th of May to 1963. And if you know Malachi Martin, who was
Yeah.
assassinated 1999, he was talking about that Vatican is watching some celestial body, which is Nibiru flyby. Then also he said that they have been in contact with ETs, and these ETs are not the good one for us, and they've been blocking the good ETs, extraterrestrials, and non-human terrestrials. And then the third thing also important, he said that on 29th of June 1963 there was a black mass, like satanic mass or something, to invite Lucifer on Earth, and it was in Washington DC and in Vatican, as I understand it. And it was 40 days after the current head of Illuminati, William Van Down, was born. He was 40 days old, little tiny baby, and his mother, Oppenheimer mother, I guess, was like not Christianing him. It was a satanic blackness, I guess. This is the person who would kill 7 billion people. So, like mother who knows about this. As a woman, maybe I'm judging more female women who are doing this evil. We have here in Czech Republic a reporter in Czech television, Daniela Pisarica, obvious sadistic psychopath. Not only that she's corrupted, but she enjoys to hurt people. So when she speaks, for example, about vaccination for babies, so you see they show picture of the vaccination, the injection, like 20 times, 25 times. So like it's obvious that it's sadism, like she loves it. Awful. And it's women, and also I judge more medical doctors, because you should help people, and okay, you can do mistakes, but not intentional. So when I, for example, see how Alex Jones, Infowars, who worked hard, so how fooled he has been by one person who is psychiatrist, actually working with black psyops, I believe. His name is Pechenik or something, and Alex believed in him, and it was obvious, like the 1-2 years back, that he's bad guy.
You say about CIA members, yes? This is
I don't know what he is, but obviously he is not
ex-CIA members.
Pechenik, I believe.
Yes.
So he's totally fooling Alex, and Alex believes him. So I believe that Alex really is one of us. I know that one false flag that we together stopped. It was in 2013, 1st of October 2013. They were planning a nuclear false flag on a military naval base, Long Beach in California. And how they did it, they put a hydrogen bomb in a capsule, unmanned capsule, LADI, that they have launched on, I believe, 6th of September of 2013 in Virginia. I knew it. I didn't need the information from Alex to stop it, because by Illuminati language that I knew from beginning of June 2013, I knew that in the capsule, and LAD is boy, like, and E is the female, and so LAD, it's like homosexuality, and the Illuminati, many are homosexual and pedophiles and have these homosexuals orgies. It's not the usual homosexual people who live together and work for humanity like everybody else, grow up. like relationships. It's the other guys who are the bad, really, on this earth. Pedophile within military. You hear from Kay Griggs that her husband, Illuminati, within NATO, what he did, like he was part of like orgies, homosexual orgies, and like assassinations, and if you are willing to kill children in false flag operation, you like are catapulted in your career. And it was what Kay Griggs talked about, and it's really important. But now I lost myself. The Ladi, the capsule, how Alex Jones was also instrumental, that he reported on 6th of September that like 3 days before, he's got a report from somebody that they are moving nuclear bombs or something from military base in northern Texas, Dyer Space, to I believe it's Southern Carolina or something, where they have this company for remake of nuclear bombs, and that this nuclear bomb shouldn't even be in Dyer Space for the first, and then they shouldn't move it. If you see something like that, you even should maybe it's allowed to kill the people who in the safety of the country.
About that, I think is written David Icke, and this bomb is active to the plane.
Okay. But what I know in the Illuminati language, that this bomb went to Jamaica, then to Virginia for launch, and then I saw in Illuminati language day by day how they celebrate, and Google is involved in it, you know that Google is Satan. When it was halftime, like from Earth, and then to Long Beach military base. If you would look at the Google Doodle, if you count halftime, so the Google Doodle in the morning was like half of it was a pendulum on the picture, and half of some, like the pendulum would take down something, like, and half of them was already down. So it was for me obvious that this is about the Ladi bomb, this Google Doodle, that it's halftime towards, they say, moon, this capsule, they would take pictures of moon. Where did you see the pictures? No way, you haven't seen any picture, because they just covered them up that when I have written it's a nuclear bomb, it's a hydrogen bomb in this. So when it was halftime, if you would look at Google Doodle and found the halftime between 6th of September and 1st of October, you would see the doodle with pendulum, and in the morning it was half of the, like, I don't know what the name was, down. And when in the second part of the day, it was already fallen all of them. So I know it's toward the earth now. And every day the celebration, and already celebration, game over, the bankers won, or Earth is ours, and like every day. And then 5 days before the nuclear attack on the 1st of October, I've got specific, for me, warning. They were warning that you could see too. But I have already learned about it. They have warned me 5 days before the first false flag, big false flag, that I have stopped, and it was top secret Operation Independence. They wanted to do, you don't know about it. It was stopped. No. I have stopped it. It was on the day, Independence Day 2013. 4th of July. Yeah, so 5 days before I've got specific warning for me. It was the first time that it was 5-day warning. So I've learned about this, how it functions, how William will warn me and so. And when it happened second time, in 5 days before the nuclear false flag on Long Beach, 1st of October. 5 days before, here in Kladno, 18 o'clock, 6 p.m., 5 days before, I hear really terrible noise. What they did, that they took Swedish planes that the Czech military used. JAS Gripen, it's Swedish, I live in Sweden, and it closed, I believe it was 2. They fake some stupid story. They found out that they are going after somebody, some plane that didn't communicate or so. It was just a fake. But at 18 o'clock, 5 days before, terrible sound of military JAS Gripen flying very, very, very low. So our windows went like this, all went on the balcony. What is this? Never heard such a noise. Are they crazy to fly this military plane so low? And I was, okay, 5 days warning again at 18 o'clock. Do I need to wake up all the children and they are eating dinner? Do I need to bother? I know that you are planning this and I know it's 5 days left and I have to do nothing. Don't bother, I know it. And why are these Czech people paying these military, paying their education, and by the way, paying for the chemtrailing, which is genocide, and what they get back, genocide, these funny things that they warn me that they will do nuclear false flag on Long Beach military base, and of course the bomb would be Russian. So you have directly the conflict with the biggest army that could measure. So it was that time that I understood this 5, and 5 is the number of deaths, as Fritz Springmeier is explained it in the lecture very well in Poland, and you have about pentagram and 5. And I would like to say, of all the evidence that I have about Nibiru flyby and that it is the pole shift will be in December 2017, all the information, and I have the information actually from the boss of it himself, William van Down. There are videos that he has been financing, or they have been financing. Its name is Lie Killers. It's good to see because it's the information that we should hear. And I listen always when I know that there are some people who are Illuminati puppets and give some information. And people dismiss them, they are Illuminati. Yeah, they are Illuminati. But they are telling you what the Illuminati want, how the propaganda will go. So I listen. So I listen to this Lie Killers, which is actually the head of the Illuminati, William van Down. It's his information. And of course he is cheating us also. You have to see when he's lying, when he's doing that. The 5. So I want to say that because I'm so used to that they have been warning me 5 days before. The same thing was the next false flags in October 2017, which was on the eastern part of US. 17th of October 2013. The whole government, or these Illuminati, was already hiding. They hired the debt ceiling on the 16th, then went for hiding. And Ben Fulford has reported it that the whole government on Thursday disappeared. They would be away just one day, but they were away the whole weekend on the 17th. They were already in the deep underground bases hiding, and the false flag was, I knew by that time, only on 17th of October 2013, it would be a nuclear bomb they would use. It would be subground. It would be in the ocean. They would cause tsunami. The tsunami would go toward New York and that region. That I knew. I knew also that in a film the day after, it was the preparation for this false flag. As somebody said about the 1st of October, it was another film. I haven't seen it, but I saw the Illuminati were saying somehow that some film with Batman was about the false flag of 1st of October in California, the West Coast. I haven't seen it, but I have seen that the Illuminati was saying that. As well as this false flag in 17th of October was tsunami against like the part of United States, New York. I knew that before, but 1 week later I found out, for example, by Michelle Hopkins, Rev. Michelle Hopkins, for example, and others, that they had FEMA coffins in Puerto Rico. They took a lot of FEMA coffins to Puerto Rico, and also that the people had the same dream, and you can mimic it by harp, and they have in Arecibo a strong harp, like TTA, Tesla Thackeray, very hard that they could cause harp crimes and floodings. You could even in another continent. She described also one specific harp crime from Arecibo in Puerto Rico, that several people got killed in Spain. You can see the video, very good, done the documentation and so. But anyway, 1 week after 17th of October, I also found out about it that in Puerto Rico they were planning that even they would be killed, which means it would be tsunami the whole way, the east coast of United States and the islands like Cuba, all this. It would be huge. Where could you put it? Such a device, subground in the sea, so that it would, well, Bermuda's, it's UK land. And what would happen with us on the other side? Because you would have a huge tsunami, many millions would be killed. And they, the night before, they hire the US government, hire the debt ceiling, go for hiding, and are in military bases. It was, I couldn't send email because they are blocking me. So I went downtown here, and I would see it send it handwritten by fax. And there are a lot of people, the information to Interpol. Interpol is involved, it's not the thing, but the thing is, if I send it to several places, they cannot do it. If I describe exactly what they are going to do, it will be tsunami, it will be East Coast, or it's blah blah, and the government is involved, and so they cannot do it. And responsible is Evelyn Rothschild, and if it happens, it's them. They cannot pull it out then if I describe it before. So I went downtown, sent it by fax, handwritten note, and many people were in front of me, and I was sitting. It's 12 o'clock noon in Czech Republic. It's like 6 a.m. in New York. I have to hurry, and they are standing here. I need to send the fax with the information to stop it, because it's like the clock is ticking. And then I was successful. Oh, good! It's sent to several places. Good, and they were sitting already there in the deep underground bases, and it's what Ben Fulford is reporting. he has contact with high-level secret service. But they fool him, of course. But the information is very good for me, because I know, like, what they are doing. And for example, I have written one evening, Angela Merkel is, there are reports, for example, from Emily Elizabeth Windsor Craig, who is Windsor by father, that it's reported that Angela Merkel is actually biological daughter of Adolf Hitler. I have written it by evening to police and so on. And the morning after, you see in the news, Angela Merkel is disabled. She can have any appointments because it's something. She's got injured in a ski accident before she has problems. And then you watch what Ben Fulford has written, and he has written that some Secret Service guys from Germany came that Angela Merkel has been taken to police or something for investigation, that her involvement in Fourth Reich. You know, it's funny. And then it's funny, the boss of Illuminati, because he communicates with me, he's arrogant and he wants to demonstrate his power. So he gave me messages like on the mainstream media, but you don't understand it. He told to his Japanese Secret Service guy who has, he's training the Secret Service guys, so he has access even in the Chinese secret things. And he instructed him to be photographing Ben Fulford on his, in a t-shirt. Here you have Nassau, Bahamas. Bahamas, it's where they have these lectures for these bad people like Illuminati to get the instructions how they will like work against us. So he's so arrogant. So he say to this Secret Service guy, high level, to be photographed with Ben with Nassau, Bahamas. So I could see it like he's provoking, because I know what Bahamas is for them. It's the education of them. So the people who were there from Poland are involved. So ask who was there for the education. And they give them brochures with how the Illuminati language or communication goes. So they get brochure. So they know when, for example, yesterday and today, you see fire on first place in MSN.com, and you see China. It's about China, and it can be about cooking, anything. But they know it's the code that China will be targeted with nuclear bombs. Or you see today something Iran, and you see like it represents Illuminati pyramid over the head of Iranian government, and it's blue, and blue is the code we are going to kill them or we are going to target them. So I have to study it more. I don't want to study it when you are my guest and you have very limited time and you have to leave now. You have such a long journey. But it's how I evaluate these false flags, the coming false flags. It's time consuming, so I cannot concentrate on the conferences, on the interviews and so. But it's what those people who have seen me so little bit, I'm an unknown person, it's what they know me for, like this little bit. But my major work, what I do since 2013, it's quite good, well described in a video that Kerry Cassidy has done with, his name is something else, but the videos is from 2012. Bill Wood. I highly recommend. He speaks about looking glass technology. He's speaking about yellow cube, yellow book technology. Oh, this technology, very educational. I would love to talk to him, really interview him, and thank him. He was like as a soldier targeted countries in the Middle East, and he found out that they were tricked just to destroy their infrastructure. They were doing it, and he wanted to stop it, but they blackmailed him. So this man really, what I would like to thank him, he said 2012, and he can see in the future. He can remote viewing. He said 2012 to Kerry. There are two main chess players, the bad guy, he called them, the bad guy, the good guy, who are like playing chess or working. They are in the charge of, the good guy saving the humanity, the bad guys calling like the shots, and these two are fighting. And it was like the man knows that I exist. The man validated me, my work, that here is William Van Damme. He's the only one who is calling the shots. Now we nuke New York. Now we nuke Japan. Now we open the Stargate, Hoover Dam, Hoover Dam. And here I am, with no weapons, no nothing. Just evaluation, just the knowledge. Just do whatever I can to save each single life. And I'm not good person as such, but for that I represent the good guy. And William and me, we know that I have saved at least 85% of people on the earth since 2013. I know it, he knows it. Whom can I tell? I tried to tell to Carrie in 2016 when she was here, but she didn't understand. And okay, you don't understand, it's perfect. The most important, it's okay. The most important is that you work for humanity, you do as much as you can. That if you don't understand what I'm working, okay, I'm here for you. I'm not angry that you don't understand that I have saved 80% of human race at least or so. It's okay, but when you understand that, you are very that day you are very welcome to come. I will be like humble, or I will not be arrogant, or you didn't understand when I offer you to interview me. No, the most important is that you work for us, that you are not one like your NTV, Janusz something, that came here instead of you. It was really bad. He came instead of you, I filmed the conference now in July. They destroyed totally, in my way, Ole Dammegård's lecture. They didn't show the slides. I have got John Moore's 3 of the lectures, and I was so happy that he didn't have any slides, because it would be disaster, you couldn't see them. Then I see a video, quite provocative, that he interviewed 2 of the speakers, Sandra Fecht and Francis Toes from Canada, and the video is on NTV, 15th of from 15th of 8 months, August 2017, and there he has red thread on his left hand, Kabbalistic. It's the first, like, what? What does he want to say? That he is one of them? The bad guys? Is he Freemason? And then in 22 minutes, which 22 is the code for their god, Lucifer, he does this, like Masonic, which is their Messiah, the Antichrist, and devil horns. And I was thinking, oh my, and he has my films, all my films. And I have paid like 500,000 Czech crowns for this and translation and so on. And they have written that it was funded by them, like Polish fund. They have even asked if I will pay their hotel rooms on the best in Radisson Blu, if I will pay for them. I have like paid or arranged that they stayed for free here, and also of course invite them, they are guests. And then they cheated me, like they have my films. I have paid it, like it's not like you can pay for one speaker $4,000 also. So it's not cheap, and Lucerna, Great Hall, it's like relatively expensive, the technicians. And then they have written that, oh, the Polish translator Maria, she hasn't got any translating cabin, and you know, Maria has written to me, you know what, I have done the translation, she has good enough space and everything, no problem. That I was not satisfied with this translation. I did it again in Poland. So he even lied. He didn't need to lie. But they took my conference, they took it all, they destroyed what they could, in my opinion, this young, and presented as they have financed it. I was like, wow, they are even, of course, worse, pretending that they are one of us, the good side, like you, and then instead they are doing this. And then I don't know how it happened that you were on your way here and suddenly your operation went like this strange. If somebody was even involved, some Freemasons, I don't know if they target you so that they could come here directly and film it and destroy it. I know that I have got warning about the 2 warnings about this conference, and one warning was via an interview they have done with Ole Dammegård. A Czech person did it, who lives in United States. His YouTube channel is, I don't know what's the name. I see only CC, 33 Freemason. I see just the 3 CC. It's like computer here. I don't even remember the names, like so. But like coast to coast, CC, are they Freemasons fraud? But 5 days before they did the interview with Ole, they did the interview with Kevin Annett, and they want to provoke me to comment on it. I don't have any. He's done. I'm done with him. Like Kevin Annett. Once you cheat, the worst thing is that, well, they say they have a court, which is a bluff, and I fought for everybody. This international court, it's bluff. And in the name is itccs.org, CC, 33 degree Freemason, you know. And then the second thing is that Kevin Annett's witnesses, I believe, are real, and they are risking their lives. And they don't know that the ITCCS is a fraud. So it's even much worse for them. I have lost $10,000 US dollars to Kevin Annett, who actually stolen it, really. But compared to these people who have risking their lives to give the testimony, and then the ITCCS is fraud. And they have written to me, if you tell anything negative about Kevin Ahmet or us, ITCCS, you will not get the money back. Blackmail. What kind of court is that? International Court of Justice against state and church, like, give me a break. I've lost myself a little bit, but no, but you can remember it. I will see the film the Bill Wood, that he knew 2012 that we two are fighting, and he gave me comfort because he said that the good guy will win. He believes that the good guy will win if the good guy will not do a mistake or so. The good guy will win, and these two will know much before other ones that the game is over. It's not over yet, but so I hope I will not do a mistake. I know that I'm the so-called good guy, and I don't want to have any intent like that. Say that I'm important. I want to save life. Don't thank me for anything. What I have done because it's my duty to you. And if you want to give me back something, please, what I want is to save your life and save lives of the people, the loved ones and your neighbors. You don't need to like me. I want to save your life. So concentrate on that. I don't want to be with you. Okay, we will continue later because you have to go to Warsaw. Thank you very much that you came.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the
Bye-bye.
interview.